Build before you break. 2. Everybody has an answer. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody is wrong. Everybody is right. Everybody is a builder, or they will not become a doer. Some dude said something like, it's easier to destroy than create. Guess he could be right if you consider only God and aliens can create. Sure, I think it's easier to do something I can do, like destroy, than something I cannot, like create. But I'm not talking about creating. I'm no alien. I'm talking about building. Take this book, for example. I'm not creating anything. With words, I'm constructing sentences built on thoughts, built on conversations, built on experiences. Nobody creates. But sure, we can destroy. However, it is hard to destroy the things we want to destroy. The Muslims talk about jihad, and the ignorant Muslims think this is a war with the takers. That kind of destruction is easy, and I bet it's fun. Nice and carnal. Trust me, all men around the world know this feeling. And as a bonus, struggling with other men worldwide keeps one from having to help around the house or talk to those annoying children that keep running around and making a mess of things. But the real jihad is with one's self, with one's learning history. Or as Shakespeare would say, to thine own self be true. Some nun wrote this on a note card and handed it to me 16 years ago, and I have been attempting to be true to thine own self ever since. How can we be true to ourselves if we don't understand the links pulling us this way or that? How can we be true to ourselves if we do not understand our chains? So in the sense of struggling with oneself, I disagree with that dude. It is easier to build than break. If only we better understood those we call our enemies, understood their conditioning. Who knows? Maybe we could learn to build together. I know, that's stupid. Not going to happen. Moving on. Damn you, Steve. I work with humans, and this dog was your idea, not mine, I said to Lauren out of frustration as I grabbed our new puppy Steve by the back of his neck and tossed him in the kennel. Puppies have teeth like razors. Ouch. The razor teeth are what started my holy war with Steve, our Labrador toddler. You're scaring him. He doesn't understand that. He's just a puppy, Lauren said in her soft, level-headed voice. As usual, she was right. He was scared. I scared him. I felt like She did not have to say anything more. I felt it immediately. Excellent work, behavior analyst. Lauren let him out of the kennel and held him in her lap. She gently stroked the back of his head and neck, then offered her hand to chew on. He did chew, but only for a couple of seconds. Then he put his head down and rested. Now that is real witch magic. The kind you only learn growing up in Florida. What the fuck, man? I kept thinking to myself. I guess Steve will get over it. He's not like one of us weak humans who ruminates about the day our mom pinched our arm in church before we were old enough to understand how important it was to be quiet while the message was being delivered. Message received, loud and clear, like Steve's neck. Let it go. Steve is a loving puppy, but he's no pussy. He is, however, a puppy with sharp teeth, and I scared him. Hold up. This is not about me seeing into my learning history and changing that thing about me that led to my cruelness with Steve. I know it would be an obvious next step here, but I was not raised in Florida, and I ain't no witch. I am more aware of my frustrations with Steve's behavior, and I've been copying some of the spells the witch uses to calm Steve. This section is about Lauren's building, not breaking. Remember we started talking about creating versus destroying? Then I said something about jihad and how all men were created equal and avoiding household chores. Then I tossed Steve, etc., etc. That was all misdirection to keep you from thinking I copied and pasted the previous chapter here. Yeah, I know, it's remarkably like the previous chapter. But sometimes the important things need repeating. Build first, break later. Build first, break later. Lauren understands this principle as it applies to dogs and children. I know this principle in theory and occasionally demonstrate it with my clients. But it is not my default mode in many circumstances. Situation like when my dog is biting my hand. In many areas of my life, my default is to grab that by the fur and throw it as far away as possible. Or if there are children around, place it somewhere gently in the kennel. But no matter how far I throw them, they always come back. And the original problem was never as bad as me having to deal with the fallout of my reaction to it. If you are true to yourself, then you cannot be false with anyone else. Breaking the chains that lead to our freakouts, disappointments, and inner struggles can happen. But sometimes it's more difficult to break our chains than to build new ones. It's like trying not to be false with anyone. Have you ever been accused of something? Something you know you didn't do, but there is this way that the interrogation is taking place that makes you feel like the accuser is sure you did it, and suddenly, in your defense, you act as someone might act if they were guilty? Oh my, am I acting guilty? You think to yourself? Stop acting guilty, or they will think you are guilty. The accuser turns to his partner. You see that? That is what guilty people look like. Stop trying not to be guilty. You are innocent. Be what you are. Who gives a fuck what the accusers think? They are still jihading with everyone else. Stop trying to break your chains all the time. Your time will be better spent building new ones. Unless you are an alien or Steve, it is easier to build than destroy. It is easier to build than to break. I hope this one sinks in. It will be embarrassing if I need to write 3 chapters saying the same thing. The Daily Chain. His girlfriend called him on her way to work. Guess what? She said. What's that, babe? He replied. I'm drinking water on my way to work. He thought to himself. Did I bet her she wouldn't be able to drink water and drive at the same time? Really? That's great. But I'm a little confused. Why are you telling me this? He asked. Because it's a new link I added. You know that I haven't been drinking enough water during the day? I decided to keep a full bottle handy in the car and make that my cue to drink. I have nothing else to do during the commute to work, so I thought, why not drink some water in the meantime? I'm on day number 4. I really like your idea about these chains. He said to her, I love it. This is great to hear. He said this while thinking to himself, great. Now the doers will be using chains too. Now the inequality gap between doers and procrastinators will get even wider, and it's all my fault. Initial cue, car ride plus sight of water bottle. Chain links. Water bottle, car, drinking and driving, getting to work hydrated, terminal reinforcer, a hydrated system, and another small monkey removed.